Welcome to another episode of Brooklyn's Roses, the fun storytelling adventure for the kid in all of us. Now, gather around for this week's story called Choo Choo. You may remember from last week that Brooklyn spent a wonderful day at the park with her parents and afterwards came home to take a long, much needed nap. Well, let's see what's in store for her today. As Brooklyn awakes from her restful nap, she stretches and smiles as she looks down at Mocha, laying quietly on the floor. "Hi, Mocha," said Brooklyn. "Did you have a good nap?" "Roof, roof," barked Mocha. "Me too." Brooklyn jumped out of bed and started to rush downstairs, but she remembered what her mommy taught her about chores. There's a place for everything, and everything goes in its place. So Brooklyn stopped and turned and began to sing as she made up her bed. Books on shelves, toys in place, beds made up, now that looks great. Dishes cleaned and furniture too. Chores keep everything looking new. Brooklyn stood back and smiled after making her bed and said, "Mommy and Daddy will be so proud of me because I made up my bed and it looks brand new." She even got approval from Mocha, who barked, "Roof, roof." "Mocha, you're so silly," said Brooklyn. "Let's go downstairs and see what Mommy and Daddy are doing." Brooklyn raced to the top of the stairway and laughed as she hopped down the stairs one step at a time. Brooklyn made sure to hold on to the rail as she went down the steps. When she got to the bottom step, she made a big leap onto the floor. Mocha was already at the bottom waiting for her, and she wagged her tail as Brooklyn landed on the floor. "Mommy! Daddy! Where are you?" shouted Brooklyn. Daddy shouted, "We're in the basement, Brooklyn!" Now Brooklyn loved her bedroom because it was full of toys, but she really loved the basement because there were so many more books and to read and toys to play with. What she didn't know is that her daddy was almost finishing making a big surprise for her. Brooklyn ran downstairs and saw Mommy sitting on the sofa watching her favorite movie. "Hi, honey. Did you have a good nap?" asked Mommy. "Yes, I did, and Mocha did too," replied Brooklyn. "Where's Daddy?" "He's in the workroom," said Mommy. Now, the workroom was a big room in the basement where Brooklyn's daddy kept his tools. Everything from hammers to screwdrivers, drills, and all types of saws and workbenches. Daddy always kept the door to that room closed and locked. Brooklyn often wondered what was in that room. And after hearing so much noise behind the closed door, she turned to Mommy and asked, "What is Daddy doing in there, Mommy? He's making so much noise." "Well, little Rose," replied Mommy, "he's making a big surprise for you." Brooklyn gave a big smile and said, "A surprise for me?" "That's right, little Rose. A surprise just for you." "I want to know what it is," replied Brooklyn in excitement. "While you were sleeping, Daddy told me he was almost finished." Just as Mommy said that, the door to the workroom opened slowly, and Daddy was standing in the doorway with a big smile on his face as he stared down at Brooklyn. "Mommy, Did I hear Brooklyn say she wanted to know what her surprise was? Asked Daddy. Brooklyn looked anxiously at her mommy as Mommy answered, "Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess we can show her," said Daddy. Brooklyn's eyes got real big as her entire face smiled with anticipation. She was about to see what was in the workroom. Daddy stretched out his hand toward Brooklyn, and she ran to her daddy and put her little hand in his. He gently held it and led her into the workroom, where she saw the most amazing thing in her life. It was a huge table, about the size of 3 pool tables. But Brooklyn couldn't see what was on top of the tables until Daddy reached into a closet and pulled out a step stool with the words, "Brooklyn's Conductor's Stand," printed on the steps. Brooklyn looked at her daddy and said, "What's this for, Daddy?" "This," replied Daddy, "is a step stool so you can see over the top of the table. You must be able to see what you're controlling." Brooklyn was eager to get to the top of the step stool and see what was waiting for her. As she climbed the steps, she could see what looked like a little... Could it be? Was this really a train set? It was. It was a train set, but this just wasn't any old train set. This train set was covered. It covered the entire table, and the tracks were placed through a little city. Oh my, wow, there were little houses and cars and animals, even a tunnel for the train to travel through. Wow, there was a little airport with planes on the runway and little people placed all over. Brooklyn looked at her daddy and said, "This is for me?" "It sure is, little Rose. This is your train set called Brooklyn's Railroads." "Wow!" exclaimed Brooklyn. "Would you like to see how it works?" asked Daddy. "Yes, please," said Brooklyn with excitement. "Well, every train is operated by someone called a conductor. You, little Rose, are the conductor for this train. You can make the train go forward by turning this lever. And the more you turn the lever, the faster the train goes. The train can also be made to go backwards by turning this lever. You can make the train go through the tunnel, past the farm, or even stop at the airport. You are in control of this train and everything around it." Brooklyn was in such amazement that she didn't know what to say. She turned to her daddy, looked up at him, gave him the tightest hug that she could, and said, "I love it, Daddy." "It's amazing, honey," said Mommy as she nodded in agreement. "Would you like to go for a train ride?" Daddy said to Brooklyn. "Yay!" screamed Brooklyn. Brooklyn looked down at the controls and slowly turned the handle to make her new train move forward. Choo choo, choo choo, choo choo. The train began to move. Brooklyn's heart beat a little faster with each exciting move. The train began to pick up speed. Choo 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 choo. By this time, the train had gone through the tunnel, passed the farm, and was approaching the airport. Brooklyn was amazed as the train was going faster and faster. Be careful, little Rose, said Daddy. If you go too fast, the train will come off the track and cause an accident by running over the people or into the cars and airplanes. You don't want to have an accident. The conductor always operates her train safely. So, Brooklyn slowed the train down and became a very good conductor. She slowed by the farms and airports and learned to operate her train safely. It was so much fun as the train went choo 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 choo, going through the tunnel and past by the farm, stopping at the airport for all to hop on. All aboard, tickets please. The train travels on with plenty of ease. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. We pass another farm and some people too. Watch out, Mr. Sir, this train's coming through. All aboard, tickets please. The train travels on with plenty of ease. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. Faster it goes as it travels round. Slow it up now when you're passing through town. The conductor makes it move forward and back. Round and round we go all over this track. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. Choo choo. Brooklyn absolutely loved her surprise and took care of her new train set. When she finished playing, she put the conductor stand back in the closet. Part of Daddy's workroom was now Brooklyn's railroads. Choo choo! I hope everyone enjoyed this week's story, and please come back next week for more with another episode of Brooklyn's Roses. So long, everyone. Choo 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 choo. Choo 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 choo. Choo choo.